Do you even know what you're feeding your dog? Have you ever just quickly ran into the store and grabbed the first bag you see off the shelf just because you needed food? I'm here to persuade you to choose only the best dog food for your dog. Every pet brand has a best, the most nutritious food for your pet, but I'm here to tell you that it's all marketing, and marketing can be a flat out lie. Just like people want to be healthy and put great food into their bodies, you should do the same for your animal. And I want to let you know that the best dog food needs to contain no controversial chemical preservatives, no anonymous meat ingredients, no artificial coloring, and no generic animal fat. The best dog food on the market is actually made in Wisconsin by a family-owned business that has been locally sourced healthy pet food for nearly 100 years. The best food on the market is called Fromm 4-Star Nutritional, which is made by the Fromm family. The worst dog food on the market contains corn, meat and bone meal, gluten meal, animal fat, soybean meal, natural flavoring, chicken byproduct meal, beet pulp, and wheat. One of the worst dog foods on the market thus far is pedigree. It is mass marketed and mass produced with ingredients outsourced from Asia. I will go ahead and explain the ingredients in the first dog food, which is Fromm, and that will be on the market. I will explain the downfall of one of the worst dog foods on the market, which is pedigree. I want you to think about all of the ingredients in Fromm that I'm about to explain to you, and then I want to be able to compare them to the worst food for your dog, which is pedigree. So the Fromm ingredients, those contain duck meal, peeled barley, sweet potatoes, brown rice, oatmeal, dried whole eggs, and millet. Dried tomato pomace, safflower oil, cheese, flaxseed, carrots, broccoli, cauliflower, green beans, chicken cartilage, potassium chloride, sulfate, chicory root extract, alfalfa sprouts, yucca, sodium selenite, folic acid, parsley, syboric acid, preservatives, vitamins, minerals, and probiotics. Now that you've heard about this ingredient, I want to go into depth with a little bit more on it. So one of the most natural ingredients in this food is duck. And then there is duck meal, which is a meat concentrate containing 300% more protein than fresh duck. The barley, which is a starchy carbohydrate, which supplies the fiber and the other healthy nutrition for your animal. We have the sweet potato, which is gluten-free source of complex carbohydrates in a dog's food, and it's naturally rich in fiber and beta-carotene. Brown rice, which is a complex carbohydrate, once cooked can be fairly easy for your animal to digest. We have oatmeal, which is a whole grain product, and that's made coarsely ground oats, naturally rich in vitamin B, dietary fibers, and can be dependent upon levels of purity and gluten-free. White rice, which is less nutrients from rice, in which the grains are healthier, it's an outlayer that has been removed. We have the dried whole egg, which is dehydrated powder, and that's made from shell-free eggs, easy to digest for your animal, and they have exceptionally high biological value. There is millet, which is a gluten-free grain, and that's harvested from a certain seed and grasses. It's hypoallergenic, and it naturally is rich in vitamin B and fiber, as well as other essential minerals. Ingredients located after the millet are not likely to affect the overall quality of the product, other than nutritional supplements, with the following exceptions. And I will explain those. They are tomato pomace, which is higher in fiber, safflower oil, which is naturally similar to a sunflower oil. There is flaxseed, which is one of the best plant sources and a healthy omega-3 fatty acid rich in soluble fibers. Chicory root, which is rich in a natural source of soluble dietary fiber, is also a probiotic, which is used to promote the growth of healthy bacteria in a dog's digestive system. And then I have to talk about pedigree, which please pay special attention to all of the ingredients in this food compared to what we just spoke about with Fromm. Would you rather feed your dog this or would you rather feed your dog Fromm? The ingredients and pedigree: ground whole grain corn, meat and bone meal, which is a source of calcium, the corn meal, there's animal fat, which is a source of omega 6, soybean meal, natural flavor, chicken byproduct meal, dried plant beet pulp, ground whole grain wheat, salt, potassium chloride, brewer's rice, chloride, dried peas, calcium, carbonite, zinc, sulfate, vitamin E supplements, biotin, dried carrots, tryptophan, BHA and citric acid, blue 2, yellow 5, yellow 6, decalcium, pantothiamate, and that's a source of vitamin B5, riboflavin supplements, red 40, peroxidine, hydrochloride, copper sulfate, sodium, selenite, potassium iodide, vitamin A supplements, thiamine mononitrates, vitamin B12 supplements, vitamin D supplements, and folic acid. Now look at what some of the ingredients truly mean, or truly are. The corn is an inexpensive and controversial cereal grain, not a preferred component in any dog food. Meat and bone meal, which is a dry, redundant product found or formed from mammal tissue, including bone, exclusively of the added blood, the hair, the hoof, the horn, the trimmings of other stomach and remnants contents. Meat and bone meal can have a lower digestibility than other meats. Scientists believe that the decreased absorption may be due to the ingredients, as higher ash and lower essential amino acids content. What's worse is particularly there are anonymous items in this food. So the meat itself can come from a combination of cattle, it can come from pigs, sheep, or goats, which we can not really identify where it's coming from. So if your dog has a sensitivity, you're not going to be able to eliminate that and to figure out what's really going on. It makes it impossible for you to figure out allergies that your dog might have. And it's also a generic ingredient like this, and it's not a good quality item. There's corn gluten meal, which is a rubbery residue, and it's remaining once the corn has had most of its starchy carbohydrates washed away, and it is lower in biological value than meat protein. Animal fat, which is the generic byproduct of rendering the same high temperature process used to make meat meals, no mention of specific animal again. This item could come from almost anywhere, which is roadkill, spoiled supermarket meat, dead, diseased, or dying animals or cattle, even euthanized pets. A generic animal fat is not considered a quality ingredient. What's worse is that the fat is not considered a quality, it's preserved with BHA, which is a suspected cancer-causing agent. The soybean meal is a byproduct of a soybean, which is an oil. It's a production more commonly found in farm animal feed, lower biological value than any meat protein. The natural flavor, what does that even mean in this food? And we're not even quite sure, it doesn't even specify what the natural flavor is. Chicken byproduct meal, it's a dry rendered product of slaughterhouse just waste made from what's left of the slaughterhouse chickens after they've been cut and removed. In addition to organs, this item can also include feet, beaks, undeveloped eggs, and almost any other thing, skeletal muscles, anything that you could name. The beet pulp is a controversial ingredient of high fiber byproducts of sugar beet processing. There's wheat, which is another cereal grain and subject to the same issue as the corn was. The ingredients located after the wheat are not likely to the effect of the nutritional value of the food, but the following exceptions are brewer's rice, which is a cereal grain byproduct consisting of small fragments of leftover milling whole rice, dried peas, which is a good source of carbohydrates, naturally rich in dietary fiber. There is no mention of probiotics, friendly bacteria applied to the surface of the kibble after processing to help with digestion. The minerals listed are depleted, making them more difficult to absorb, something associated with lower quality dog food. This food also contains artificial coloring, and that's to make it more appealing for the owner, not for the dog, because the dog can't tell the color. This food is preserved with BHA, which is a suspected cancer-causing agent. So the bottom line is that Fromm 4-star nutrition is clearly better choice for your pet. It contains healthy-based proteins and meat-based proteins. It is rich in nutrients and vitamins necessary to provide energy and good health for your pet and to sustain their life. And the bottom line for pedigree is it's a plant-based dry dog food that uses minimal amounts of poultry byproduct and or identified meat and bone meal, as it is the main source of animal protein. This inferior ingredient cannot provide the nutrients to keep your pet healthy, and in fact, it can be harmful to your animal. I hope that you learned a little bit more about what dog food is out on the market, and I hope that you choose Fromm.